Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Ambush on Air. I'm your host, Sam Bush, and as always, bringing you some really interesting topics around sales, marketing, partnerships, all within the Microsoft ecosystem. So today is no different. I have got a nice panel today to go through a little bit about the resurgence of convergence, which is what I've been calling it. Let's go through and do some intros. I've got Bobby Small here on the call. Bobby, let's do a little intro.
Yeah. So excited to be here with this great group of folks heading into Convergence. I work with Dynamics User Group. I'm the community director. I've been in the community for about 15, 16, I don't know, a long time. I'm old.
Yeah.
Look at this. And just, excited to be able to bring this type of conference to the community. I know it seems crazy that to get another conference in the schedule, but this one's important. And we're going to talk about why. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited as well. And I am joined also, in addition to Bobby, the team from Avanade and Accenture, really. So, Chris, why don't you go ahead and give us a little intro on who you are?
Absolutely. Thank you. My name is Chris Kaysen. So like you mentioned, I'm with the Avanade Accenture team. I was originally, as I got into the Microsoft ecosystem with a company called Blue Horseshoe. And we then joined the Avanade Accenture team in 2021. So really looking forward to Convergence coming back. It's been gone a while. It was such a good conference. Everybody in the ecosystem that I talk to, who's been around a while, who shares those gray hairs maybe that we might have there, Bobby, that you mentioned, is so excited for it to come back after 10 years, I guess, being
Yeah,
10
away.
years.
Yeah.
and it's crazy. My gray hairs are hidden under this hat, so no one knows my age. I love Everybody is always like, "Oh, I thought you were younger," and I'm like, "That's the key. The key is the hat."
I got to
Um,
start wearing a hat.
it helps. It helps.
Takes 10 years off the top right away.
Exactly. All right, Karen, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Karen McAteer with Avanade. I'm part of our AI Business Solutions group. And I focus primarily on the enterprise space within our ERP practice, cutting across a number of industries, professional services and life sciences and FSI, really pretty much anybody in the ERP space. And again, super excited that Convergence is back. I think I was trying to remember this morning with another coworker, at least 10 plus, recounting some of like the great musical guests and such. I remember Matchbox 20 back in New Orleans. God, I think that was like 2009 or 2013. There was two that were New Orleans. So yeah, some really just fabulous times and a lot of great learnings, but a lot of good times.
Yeah, I love that. This will be my first convergence of all time. I wasn't aware there used to be musical guests. Is that something on the radar moving forward, Bobby?
I can't say. There's lots of stuff still being planned. It may be me. It may be Matchbox 20 again.
Well, one thing I know about the Microsoft channel is we love karaoke, so we could always do it
At the
ourselves.
very least, we're going to be karaokeing for sure.
Exactly. So, Bobby, talk to us a little bit about, why convergence is back now. What's shifting kind of in the industry to bring this all together?
Happy to. Yeah. I mean, first of all, if you're watching this, it's sold out. So unless you've got some black market access, which I hear is happening,
It is.
the tickets are gone. And it sold out quickly. I mean, basically open for a couple of months, not even a couple of months. And so that's just how quickly people got their heads around what this conference is going to be, which is really the key is the access to Microsoft.
Yeah.
Microsoft is leading a majority of the sessions. They're bringing all of their main players, their project engineers, their principal architects, all these folks that are involved in developing and shaping where the product's going. Those folks are going to be here for the business applications, products. So this is just unprecedented. I like to say access to these folks and what's going on, getting to learn where we are at this moment with a rapidly developing AI landscape and within the ERP system. So AI ERP, this is just marrying these together with Microsoft is just, again, just an immense opportunity. That it starts on Tuesday with a partner day for those partners that are involved. moves quickly into the education, and then there's some hands-on workshops at the end for folks that are lucky enough to be there and get into these, that are going to be, again, loaded with Microsoft people, 4 or 5 product engineers and product managers in each of these workshops.
Yeah.
So you almost got a 1 to 3 or 4 person hands-on experience, which is just incredible. I mean, it's just the amount of learning that should happen at this is going to be fun to see.
Yeah. Yeah. So everybody, why did you guys decide to sponsor Avanade and Accenture? What was the driving force? Chris, I'll start with you.
Is really kind of just the excitement that Convergence is back.
Mm-hmm.
For those of us who've been around for so long, it was such a premier event in the past, and it was really one that was, the entire ecosystem was involved through partners, ISVs, customers, and Microsoft. And that's one of the things that I think makes this one unique is Microsoft
Sure.
was always so much there in strength for Convergence, and they're doing that again as it's coming back and being fully supportive behind it. So just being a part of that, with that coming back, there's just an excitement. It's funny,
Mm-hmm.
when it first came out, my email was just blowing up from people all over that Convergence is back. So for the
Mm-hmm.
people who do have those gray hairs and been around a while, it was like this. Christmas came early, it was
Yeah.
a neat thing. So for us to have an opportunity to be a sponsor, to be a part of it, we
Yeah.
just wanted to be a part of that because it's so integral into the business applications, enterprise AI space that we live in day to day.
Sure, sure. And Karen, any thoughts from you on, why sponsoring, especially at a premier level? You guys are one of 2 premier sponsors. I think that speaks volume to kind of your position in the Microsoft community.
Yeah, I mean, I would echo everything that Chris said, first off. But Accenture Avanade, we are all in with Microsoft, right? That is our focus. What we wake up every morning thinking about is how we're going to deliver solutions for our customers. And I just love the opportunity to get in person. Still recovering from those COVID days when we didn't get to be in person with anybody. It's so great to be back with customers, with Microsoft, with all of you guys. Just really looking forward to the connections and the learnings. And I mean, gosh, and been doing this for a long, long time, and the pace of change, I've never seen anything like this in my career. And
I
it's
know.
exciting and a little scary at the same time. So I'd
Yeah.
be worried if I wasn't going to be there and taking advantage of all the learning. So I think there's a lot of FOMO out there.
I feel the same way. I really do, Karen. I've got a couple different like Microsoft marketing networks that I'm in, and there's a chat right now that's like Anya, who runs ERP software blog, has 1 ticket to give away, and everyone's like, "How do I get this?" And she's like, "It's got to be one. You've got to be one of my clients." So I love this thing we've created in such a short time, right? To bring us all together. So one thing I wanted to highlight about something you said, Karen, you guys have been such an integral part of the Microsoft ecosystem for so long. Somebody told me it is the 20th time that you guys have won the Microsoft Global Systems Integrator Partner of the Year in 2025. This was the 20th time.
Yeah, it was.
Woo, weeks. Who else can say that, right? You guys have been like toe in toe with Microsoft, and it really shows in the way that you show up for things like this. So very excited to see you guys there.
Yeah, I think that longevity of that 20 years is just something, because a lot of people come and go. It's
Yes,
amazing and great to be a part. Really
Well,
make
definitely.
I
it
think
more
for people
family.
listening, I mean, the reason, I mean, because you're attending events like this, especially with this type of access to Microsoft's
Mhm.
key players and drivers, that just continues to build that relationship. That's why it's important for, for the next iteration, whether it's, Convergence 2026,
Yeah.
Dynamics Con, whatever events, the more events you go to, the more you integrate and deepen those relationships, the more successful you can be, and the more, the more you're giving back to the community.
Exactly. So I'm excited. You guys have got a booth on the show floor, obviously, as a premier sponsor. So your booth 103, that's where people can find you. Karen, tell me a little bit about what they can expect when coming over to the booth. That's kind of right by Microsoft's big booth, right?
Yeah, we're right next to Microsoft. There will always be several people there, and we'll be able to talk about any of the different services that Avanade Accenture offer. We'll have product demos. Just stop by, even if you just want to have a chat, say hi. I mean, we'll be there. Someone will always be there throughout the conference. Whenever it's open, we'll be there.
Sounds great. I love it. You guys also have a couple of different opportunities to get in front of the audience, whether it be we're doing a CIO roundtable discussion. That's kind of a newly put together piece that we're adding into Convergence as a whole. Bobby, I don't know if you want to highlight the benefit of going to this roundtable and Avanade and Accenture sponsoring.
Yeah, so again, it's going to be another kind of intimate opportunity to get in front of your peers as a C-level person. Getting in a room, there'll be some structured topics and some conversation around those topics that'll kind of separate and come back together at different points to just to have an extra hour, kind of at a smaller scale, to learn from each other and and to give back to that group. So that'll be just about an hour on Thursday, I think. Is when that's going to be occurring, and it'll just be, again, more intimate, smaller scale opportunity to learn from your peers. So that's what's happening at that CIO roundtable.
I love it. So Avanade Accenture, you guys also have a special spot in one of the keynotes, which is a mystery on when. So if you are attending Convergence, come to all of them because they're all going to be jam-packed with amazing speakers, amazing sponsor highlights, customer success stories from our user base. So those are going to be always the ones with all the information you need for.
Yeah, the opening keynote is going to be Microsoft, really setting the tone for the event and what story they're telling and all the education they're bringing and what they're getting across with this AI first frontier, opportunity for firms to get, integrated into this, like you said, rapidly evolving, ecosystem. And the folks like Avanade, our premier sponsors, are going to be just lending kind of a button to all this as part of this keynote presentation on the first day. So Microsoft will speak, and then as a wrap up, Accenture Avanade will be there to kind of retell the story and kind of show it in action. So it should be just another great opportunity for everybody there to learn, kind of see real time what Microsoft's doing.
I love it. Then Avanade, your team has 2 sessions. So you've got an education session all around Microsoft Fabric that I'm interested in. I will be in that seat. I am getting introduced into the wild world of Fabric. It's one of my goals for next year to dive in and understand how I can use it throughout some of my clients.
And Nancy said that was one of the most popular sessions she's given, as far as attendance. So it's going to be a good one.
Okay, well, I'll go early.
Some speaker. She's an MVP. She leads our global CE practice, so I would not want to miss that session. It's going to be a great one.
It's a great one. It is Thursday at 9:15 in the morning, which we love a 9:15 and not at 8 o'clock, right?
Let's get some breakfast and a few coffees in first, right?
I'm not gonna not say that there could be a couple of 8 o'clock sessions on Thursday. We're still just hammering home a few things on the final schedule.
Yeah, I love it.
So keep it light, though.
Then you guys are also doing a customer success highlight. That's also Thursday. It's at 10:45. That's going to really be all around the road to autonomous ERP implementation. So excited for that one as well. There's no better session to attend than one where a customer tells the story and you don't have to, right?
Yeah. No, it should be fun because we're working with our customer on this one. But what it's about is how we've leveraged AI in the implementation with the customer. So things that we've done to make the implementation go quicker, smoother, learning from. So it should be a little different than the straight normal, here's how things went. We were doing some new things there in conjunction with the customer. And like you said, it's always great to have one where you're hearing from the customer also because they're living it.
You're going to see that theme from Microsoft too. They're bringing in customers.
Great.
It just, that was an end goal, was to have, like you said, having a customer tell it is so impactful. So when you go to the session that Kristen, you're talking about here, you're going to hear how this customer, and that just resonates. It just does. It hits differently for an end user when it's somebody that they, they're eye to eye with.
Exactly. There's nothing better than buying something your peer signs off on more than the salesperson selling it to you does, right? I'm like, I don't trust you at all. But I trust your clients and I trust your customers to tell me the real story, right? Yep. I love it. Okay, well, as we kind of wrap up today, what about we do something to help everyone listening prepare for convergence, whether it's something to pack, something to do, or even some advice for when we're there. Bobby, I'll go to you first.
Yeah, my number one piece of advice always is to prepare ahead of time. Whova will be up. That conference app will be rolling this week, so get on, check out the sessions, start marking the ones you like, mark your backups, Great. And always come prepared for these sessions. Again, I can't emphasize enough the access level you have to Microsoft. So when you're in a room with Microsoft, ask questions and be prepared to have some questions ready to go, because this is just a couple of days that you've got concentrated in front of folks. And so be ready. That's my number one piece of advice. Get your journal, however you do it, OneNote, journal on your arm, however it is, get those things queued up so you're not losing this opportunity. It'll go by fast. You'll blink and Friday will come and you're like, wow, I forgot to ask all these things. And so you don't want to be that person.
Karen, what about you?
Yeah, I would say thinking about this myself as I'm thinking about how I want to prepare for the sessions that I want to do. Last week, if you didn't have an opportunity to attend Ignite, a lot of good sessions are recorded. I would say go out and take a look at some of those. Look at that compared to the agenda that we're going to have this week, and maybe try to watch a couple of those, right? So you're not hearing it for the first time when you're there. So if you second time, you'll maybe be able to think of a question that you might want to ask, one of the Microsoft folks, instead of just hearing it and just being blown away by the amount of information. And then from someone who's came away with many blisters, pack some comfortable shoes, maybe your sneakers, as a practical tip for the conference.
Yeah, both great ones. I didn't even think of watching some of those big presentations at Ignite. Great advice. Chris, what about you?
So, I think one of the biggest things is it is an overwhelming event. There is so much information, so much access that we talk about. So before you go, think about what are your goals.
Yep.
So who do you want to be talking to, seeing, listening? And we've talked all throughout this about, how lots of people from across the entire ecosystem is going to be there. It's important, and you mentioned having questions prepared and asking them, but really engage. So, and right now, so much is changing so quickly. We all have things that we can learn from other partners, ISVs, customers. Everybody's pushing and doing new things. The rate of change is so quickly right now. Yeah. So really engage and share what you're doing, but also make sure you take the time to listen to what other people are doing, and kind of make that really an engagement type activities.
Yeah, I love that. I was actually just talking to one of my friends who's also going to be at Convergence, and I was saying for this, I want to be more of a student than a teacher. If you know much about me, I do a decent amount of speaking sessions, and I end up at conferences running around doing that, right? This one, I have my only commitments are to hang out with you guys, talk about what's going on, talk about, all the great things moving. But I'm here to learn and be on the other side of it for the whole time, which is so rare for me. So becoming a student is my big goal in listening and getting advice for some of my clients on a few different big key pillars of things I'm focused on. And then to have a nice meal with one of my clients. That's what I'm very excited about, just to sit down and not be remote as we're doing some big things. So
if you like sushi, Nobu's got sushi.
Already got a omasake booked. Okay. We're doing the full thing. Yeah. It is one of my best friend's birthdays while we're there. So we have a couple special things planned as well.
Awesome.
Cake, coffee, bacon. Shout out. She's probably going to listen to this. Okay, any final thoughts before we kind of wrap it up with us? Anybody on the Avanade Accenture side or Bobby?
I'll let you folks go first.
Really looking forward to it. Please stop by the booth and say hi, and let's all have a great conference.
Yes, I love it.
We've said it all. Prepare and then get there and be in it. Like you said, like Chris pointed out, be intentional and be present. It's going to be a great experience.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I had a blast chit-chatting and getting to know you guys. I'm looking forward to some more familiar faces as I get to Convergence. So I will stop by booth 103 to see you guys on probably Tuesday. So thanks again. And all my listeners, thanks for listening. And as always, leaving you with party on. We'll talk soon.
Bye.